欢迎大家 welcome everybody to our Chinese podcast, where you can learn Chinese from the very beginning. And we have today our dear friend Melanie. Hello, Melanie. 你好。
Hi everyone, 大家好. Today we're diving into some of the most common questions you will hear in Chinese culture. How to ask about family size and
Which is weird because I never ask anyone about their family size. But in China, this is something, They want to know how many people are in your house, which is how big is your family. And also, they want to know your age because it's not a bad thing to ask about age. I mean, it's not great to ask about age, but sometimes it's actually good, eh? Melanie, to talk about people's age. They're sort of
yeah,
proud
it's
about their
okay
age.
in China.
Okay, good. We will also talk about red envelopes. We discussed the other day about these red envelopes. What do they mean? Why do they exchange red envelopes? What is inside? And we will talk about the good things and not so good things about this tradition. We love criticizing cultures. But yes, red envelopes, a very Chinese thing to do. We will see the meaning behind it. Are you ready, Melanie?
Yes, and everybody don't forget to comment your answers to today's question. We love reading them and learning with you, so let's start it.
Very good. We love reading questions and answers, everything. Good. So let's start with today's lesson. We will learn first about this verb, yo. What does it mean, yo, and how do we use it, Melanie?
有, we use it as a verb, means to have, to have. So for example, 我有一本书. I have a book.
Very good. So isn't a normal verb, have, and so I have, you have, he has. Very good. We can also say 他有三个朋友. He has three friends. Or the negative form is a bit tricky, eh? Melanie, how do we say I don't have in Chinese?
So we add 没 the 有 to make negative form. So 没有, don't have, don't have.
Very good. So just be aware that when we make the negative form of this verb, it's not 不有. 不有? Doesn't exist. We don't say 不有, we say 没有. Very good. Perfect. Now, now that we reviewed this verb, we will use it a lot during today's lesson. We will learn how to ask about family size. How do we ask about family's size, Melanie?
So it's 你家有几口人?
So literally, this question, what does it mean? 你家有几口人?
你家 your family, 有 to have or there are, 几 a question word, how many, 口 the magic word for family members, and 人 people, how many people are there in your family?
I love this. I love this analysis that you give. It's like word by word. It's amazing. Very good. So your house has how many people? I see lots of interesting things that you mentioned here, and we will analyze this question word by word. But so far, we can see a word that we know, which is yo, which is to have. Your house has how many people? Your house has.
Yes.
Subject is 你家. You will notice in 你家 that we don't say 你的家,你的家. We don't say 你的家 because we said in the last episode that for possessives, if it's something that is very personal, like family member or something like that, we don't add the. So we don't say 你的家, we can say straight away 你家. It sounds better.
Exactly.
Very good. But now let's go with the next one. 几. This 几, how do we use it, Melanie?
几. So we use it as a question word to ask about how many. So 几 is normally a number less than 10. But when we ask, we don't know exactly. It's less than or more than 10. So 几
Very good. So G is for numbers less than 10. Problem is that sometimes we don't know. So if we don't know how many people or how many objects are you asking for, just use G. They're not very Nazis about it. So G, how many? How many?
Yes.
Very good. There is another way to ask for how many, which is 多少, which is for more than 10. But we will not look at it today. So 几 is good. The other one is 多少. Very good. So in this question that we saw here, 你家有几口人 is in your house, have how many people. We notice this 口, you said is a measure word, is it? 口 is a measure word for what exactly, Melanie?
So when we're talking about family members, we use 口, the specific measure word, because you can think about this way, like how many mouths to feed you need to feed in your family. So that's why we use 口 as the measure word for family members.
Very good. We know already a measure word for people, which is 个, 一个人, 两个人, 三个人. But if it's people that live in a place and, like Melanie said that they need to be fed, we will use 口. So 口人, 一口人, 两口人, 三口人. So people that live in a place and need to be fed. Very good. Now we see the answer. How can we answer that question, Melanie?
我家有5口人. My family has 5 people.
Very good. So we just replace 几 with the number 5, 5. 我家有5口人, which is really like my family. My family, we were also 5. So 我家有5口人. In my house, we have 5 people. Very good. Perfect. So we learned this. Now let's practice a little bit. Melanie, 你家有几口人？
我家有3口人。
很好。Now you ask me.
你家有几口人？
我家有2口人。2口人。Very good. I need to get a cat. So no, we'll still be 2. Very good. So now we know how to ask about family size. How many people live in a house? Let's go ahead and we see how old people are. How do we ask about people's age, Melanie?
We say this way. 你几岁了? How old are you?
Very good. So, 岁, this is a new word. 岁. What does it mean, 岁?
岁, years old.
Okay, so 你几岁了 is you, how many years old? And 了? What about 了? What is this 了?
It's a completed action or change in state. So we can imagine here implying now. So how old are you now?
Very good. Perfect. Because before he was another number, and now he is this number. So it's clearly a change of state. Very good. 你几岁了? 你几岁了? How old are you? So we can imagine how we will reply to this. So we will just replace, as you can see, with the 几, the question word, with the number of your age. So 你几岁了? 几岁了? If we're 8 years old, what would we say?
We can say 我8岁了. I'm 8 years old now.
Very good. 我8岁了. So as we can see, 你几岁了? The answer just replaces the number it replaces the question word with the number. 我8岁了. Very good. The problem is that, as we saw, 几 is for numbers lower than 10. So, and this way of asking 你几岁了 it sounds more like you're a young person. How do we ask how old are you to adults? And this is the way. Melanie, how do we say this?
We can say this way. 你多大了? How old are you?
Very good. Literally, Melanie, how does this question work?
Oh, yeah. So here, 你, you, 多 is a question word, question pronoun. Means how much or to what extent. And the 大 means big or old. So how old are you?
Very good. It could be also how big, because when it's a very
Yeah,
big
that's true.
question. But in this case, in this context, you're not asking about people's size. No, how big are you? No, you're asking about age, his age. Very good. So, 你多大了?你多大了? How old are you? Very good. Now, if we happen to be 39 years old, how do we ask this question? How do we answer this question, Melanie?
We can say 我39岁了. I'm 39 years old now.
Oh, very good. So 我39岁了 is I'm 39 years old. I wonder who is 39? That's quite an old age. Anyway, I'm 39 years old. If you're 39, you can say 我39岁了. Very good. Perfect. We will not review much about this because we want to ask this to our audience. So if you're listening to us, how would you say I am and your age years old? Huh? So how would you say I am and then you say your age years old? If you know, please leave us a comment. Wherever you're listening to us or watching us, please write I'm and your age. We will see if you said it right or not. We don't know your age, so you can lie to us with that. But yes, I'm blah blah
Yes.
blah years old. And also, I wanted to ask Melanie if our listeners enjoy this podcast, what they should do.
Oh, so everyone, don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to our podcast for more Mandarin tips and cultural insights.
Very good. So if you press like and subscribe. Very good. Now we will talk about something that is very interesting to me, which is these red envelopes. In Spain, when they want to give you something, they go to Zara, buy some perfumes or whatever, and they give it to you. Sometimes, if they're a good friend, with the receipt so you can exchange it. But in China, what do they do? They give you this kind of envelopes. What are they? And what do they have inside? Melanie, do you know?
Yeah, so red envelopes in China are all about spreading good fortune, luck, and blessings. But they also reflect deep cultural values like family, unity, respect, and a bit superstition.
So it's also about superstition, and this is something that we
Yeah.
will see in Asian cultures. Is very lots of superstition still today. Let's
Yeah.
talk first about the positive side. So you said it's about good fortune, luck, blessings. So you just good wishes towards people, and spread cultural values like unity and everything else. When do these things happen? Like when do they exchange these red envelopes, Melanie?
Oh, for example, during Spring Festival, 节, which we call Lunar New Year. So elders give red envelopes to children or emirate younger family members to wish their luck and prosperity in the coming year.
Very good. And if you happen to go to a wedding in China, they always give the money and everything or the gift in these red envelopes. And if you happen to work in China, you may receive these red envelopes from your boss when they want to give you a bonus or maybe a festive gift. The thing is, what is inside? Anyway, what is inside these
Uh,
coupons?
Yeah, no. So what is really cool is that the amount of money. So we normally put money inside, and be careful. the money inside often has a symbolic meaning. So, for example, 88, 88 means double luck, and 168 sounds like prosperity all the way.
168, okay, 168. So the numbers, the way that they pronounce, they convey a meaning, and that is sort of the symbolic meaning. So there is the physical meaning, which is the money, but there is a symbolic meaning attached to the pronunciation of those numbers. So you should never receive amount of number of 4, because 4, we
Yes.
know it's 4, it sounds like 死, which is death. So if you want to wish someone's death, you may give him a number of money, which is 4, 4. But if not, it's better to avoid it. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And yeah. And beyond the money, act of giving and receiving that matters. So the color red itself symbolizes good fortune and happiness. So making these envelopes a key part of Chinese celebrations.
Very good. So we saw good things, but there's also like a dark side of this, which is the bad connotations. Lots of Asian cultures are a bit materialistic, and there's lots of pressure to save face. 爱面子, there is this Chinese thing of 爱面子, face. So you want to be generous, of course, but you want to be generous not only because you love that person and you want to be kind to that person, but because you want to look good. And that may generate some financial stress, especially if you don't have that much. But if you want to save face, you need to do it. So there must be more pressure than in other cultures. What are other things that may happen?
What you mentioned is a really big problem. And there's the issue of competitive giving, especially at weddings. So families might to do one another by giving the largest red envelope. So turning what should be a meaningful gesture into a materialistic display. So they're trying to compete with the others.
Oh man, so it's like who has the biggest the biggest number? That is silly. Yes. Also, we said in business they may give you a red envelope, but that may be also misused, like for bribing, for example, or for ways to curry favor. So yeah, it's not only that your boss may give you a red envelope, but maybe there will be exchanges of red envelopes when they're actually carrying this kind of bribing things. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good thing, but it entails some dangers. And we see lots of families when they don't have that much, they may suffer, especially when they go to a wedding or a good celebration may become a cause of a stress, financial stress, if they don't have too much.
It's true.
Nowadays, Melanie, do they always give red envelopes in a physical format, or how are things changing nowadays?
Oh, so today we also have a digital envelopes, which we called 电子红包. So like apps like WeChat and Alipay have made it possible. So we can just send a few taps.
Wait. Like really, you can do everything with WeChat nowadays.
That's
Weixin is
true.
good for everything. Amazing. Very good. Well, let's finish. Let's wrap it up and let's do the answer to our question. How do we say our age? So we saw that to answer the question, for example, in our case, 你多大了?你多大了, Melanie, we would answer this way. We would say 我什么什么岁了. So in my case, Melanie, can you ask this?
Okay, Sandy, 你几岁了?
啊，没有，我多大了？Yeah, thank
对
you.
不起，Yeah, you're an
我
adult, so 你多大了？
你多大了？I would say 我39岁了。我39岁了。I am 39 years old. In your case, Melanie, you can lie to us. Melanie, 你多大了？
我35岁了，
哦，你太年轻了，非常好。
谢谢。
Very good. Perfect. So we've learned a lot. If you want to say your age, please write it in the comments. We will love to see it and how you ask for your age. Now, if you have
Yes.
enjoyed this podcast and you want to learn Chinese, what should they do, Melanie?
Oh, so don't forget our website, hanyu-chinese-school.com. You can ask for a free trial class. And thanks for listening. And we will see you next time.
Very good. And next time we will learn lots more. It's been a pleasure and we see you. Bye bye bye. 再见。
再见。